Hi TCC members, Adele here, Pilates instructor and personal trainer at the Claremont Club. And today I'm going to take you through a resistance band workout, upper body workout, that mimics exercises that you can do on the reformer that I know you miss. I know everyone misses the reformer. So we're going to recreate some of those today with the resistance bands. You just need one long band and an area to work out. So we're going to start in a kneeling position with the band, arms reaching out in front, and actually I'm going to turn to the side so you have a little better view. And we're just going to warm up with the breath and the mobility of the shoulders here. So arms are out in front. From here, before you move, you're going to take an inhale, and then on your exhale, you're just going to reach the arms overhead and then lower back down. So what we're doing here is we're trying to work the range of motion of the shoulders without popping the rib cage. You want to keep that rib cage connected. Hips, your pelvis is stable, so hips are still, they're not moving. So we're reaching up and then lowering back down. So we're just going to do that one more time and then add on to the movement. Exhale up. Inhale, lower back down. Now with the next one, we're going to add a little bit of mobility work. So you're going to lift up, open out into the band this time as it goes behind the head, lift back overhead, and then lower back down. So you're trying to keep the arms straight the whole time. It's okay if you do not have the mobility to go this far. Stick within a range that feels good for you. Let's do 3 more here. Lifting up and lowering back down. Let's go 2 more. Let's go exhale up and back. Inhale up and forward. Last one. And lower back down. So a little bit of strength work there. You'll start to feel the work in your arms, but also good mobility work as well for the shoulders. Next exercise, we're going to come into a seated position, and this series is going to mimic the back rowing series on the reformer. So this is where we're sitting, the ropes are in front of you, we're going to be doing some exercise pulling back this way. We're going to place the band around the feet. The feet are going to be your anchor point. And then from here, I want you to think of trying to find this neutral position of the spine. Doesn't matter so much if your legs are straight, if you're sitting like this. I'd rather have you find neutral with a little bend in the knees. You can also prop yourself up on something and sit on a pillow or anything that elevates the body just a little bit. It'll make it easier to sit with the legs straight. So, again, we're going to keep a little pressure out into the feet. That's going to engage the glutes. And then sitting up tall, we're going to go into a row. So you're going to pull the elbows out on your exhale. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. We're going to do 8 more here. So we're working mid-back. It's a good exercise to help with posture. Oftentimes with posture, our upper back muscles become weak because of all the forward movement we're doing. So good back strengthener here, exhaling back, inhaling forward. Let's do 3 more. Straighten the arms forward and lower back down. You're going to keep one hand down on the leg as your anchor. I want you to create a little bit of tension there. And then with this other arm, we're going to do a single arm row with a twist. So we're going to start by rotating back and pulling with the arm, and then coming back to center. So we're adding a little bit of spinal mobility here, along with the upper back work. And as you keep going here, we're doing 10. As you keep going here, check in so those toes are not pointing inward. They're pointing straight up, and I can definitely feel the work in my glutes to stabilize. And I also feel the tightness in my back here. So it's a good one for me. I have scoliosis, so it's a good one for me to work both sides of the body. One side always feels a little different than the other. Let's do 1 more. And then release. Now I'm going to go the opposite way, pulling and rotating for 10. 7 more here. 7, 6. Make sure you're exhaling back, inhaling forward. last one, and then return back to center. We're going to uncross the straps now, and you're going to hold on to them. So with the straps here, I want you to grip it so the palm is facing inward on each side. This is going to help keep the wrists in a neutral position throughout the exercise. And we're going to be doing bicep curls here. So here, you have a couple options. You can tilt back, keeping that neutral spine, that straight back, or you can round back, having that curve. So I'm going to keep more of a straight back because this curved position doesn't feel good being pregnant. But whatever position feels best for you, you're going to lean back, hold, curl the arms in, and straighten forward. So the breath is exhale in, inhale, release back. And again, we're going to do 10 of these. So in this one, if you feel like you could add 5 more reps, do so. You do want to feel challenged by the end of the movement. Let's do 5 more here. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So we are going to do a second set. I guess I should have told you that first before you decided how many reps you're going to do. But we're going to go into the same positioning. We're going to do single arm this time, followed by another 10 reps of the bicep curls together. So leaning back, hold, and we're going to do single alternating. So another reason it's important to keep tension with the feet is to keep the band in place. And we just have 5 more here. 5, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go back to both for 10. 9, if you need a little more work here, you can lean back further or grip up on the band. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so we're going to release out of that position now, and then we're just going to come into a quick hip flexor stretch because sometimes when we're in that seated position for a while, the hips can come tight. So I'm just going to have you shift the weight forward, again, finding a neutral position of the spine. We're going to hold this for about 30 seconds, and you should feel a stretch in the hip here, or maybe into the quadriceps a little bit, depending where you're tight. And then again, think of the pubic bone tilting forward. This is going to lengthen through the front of the leg here. Stay here, 1 more inhale, and then exhale. We'll release and switch sides. And again, this is just to loosen up a little bit after being in that seated position for those 3 sets. So sometimes being upright, you might feel enough of a stretch, or just shift the weight forward. And again, like I said, cueing the pubic bone to lift up. It's not going to feel like a very big movement, but it'll give you a really, really good stretch. You should notice the difference. Okay, we're just going to stay here for about 10 more seconds. Stay here, 1 more deep inhale. And then exhale, come out of it. And we're going to go back to the band and come back into a kneeling position here. So we're going to stay kneeling for a while. If it bothers you to be kneeling, come up into a standing position. That's totally fine. We're going to start here with arms out in front, and we're going to do a set of band pulls. So on the reformer, this mimics a kneeling position, again with the ropes in front of you, doing some work pulling back, still strengthening the back. So we're going to start here, palms facing down. Again, I think I'm going to turn to the side here. And you're just going to pull the arms out to the side and release forward. This time the arms are staying straight. And we want to think of, again, the mid-back and shoulders working here. We're going to do 7 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, exhale, 2, 1, and release back. Now right away we're going to bend the elbows in, band comes right in front of the chest, and we're going to press out to the side, going into a tricep press. So this is probably one of the best variations. if you don't have something to anchor the band in front, it's probably one of the best variations to target the triceps. And with these 2 exercises back to back, I can already feel my triceps burning. We're gonna do 4 more here. 4. Exhale, 3. 2. 1, and rest. So shake it out. You can set the band down. I had a low power on my video here, so picking up where we left off, can drop the band down, and we're just going to go into shoulder rolls. So taking the shoulders up, back, and down, just 5 of them, just to loosen any tension you might have in the neck. Last one, and relax. Okay, last variation here. We're going to come into a kneeling series, and again, you can stand. If you're doing this standing, you'll probably need to stand closer to the edge of the band to have enough range. If you're kneeling, then you'll be a little bit more on the band, so you have greater resistance. Okay, so this one we're going to start with the band in the hand of the side where the long length is coming from, and we're going to do single arm shoulder presses. So this is your kneeling side arm series that you do on the reformer with the strap in one hand. So obviously this is the strap that's closest to you. We're going to press up and lower back down. So again, with all this work going overhead, we don't want to thrust the rib cage forward. You want to keep that rib cage connected. We're going to do 3 more here. 3. Exhale, 2. 1. And we're just going to do 5 side bends with the band. So you can loosen up a little bit if you need to. You're going to press and reach the side and bring it back in. Exhaling up and over. 2 more. Last one. And rest. So the band is going to go to the opposite hand, just like we do on the reformer. We're going to cross it over. And we're going to go into backhand. So your palm is going to come down onto the band. You're going to start with the hand right in front of the stomach. You're going to lead with the elbow and press, and then bring it back in. Adjusting the tension as needed. So I needed to grip up a little bit on the band. But also I want to point out that it's okay if you lose tension at the bottom, as long as you feel challenged when you press out. So I do lose quite a bit of tension here, but I don't think I'd want to grip up any more. Otherwise, it'd be hard for me to straighten my arm. Let's do 3 more here. Exhale, press 3, 2, 1 more. And bring it back. Now we're going to do a lateral raise with the band. So the arm is straight. This is a weak area of mine, so I'm definitely loosening up on the band, lifting the arm up, and lower back down. So the breath is exhale. We're going to do 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Let's switch sides. So I'm just going to stay facing you, but I'm also going to switch the band to the other side, and we're going to repeat that series that we just did. So gripping up on the band, pressing straight up, and lowering back down. So I typically don't do a lot of work with bands, but I must say that I can definitely feel this series just by showing you the few exercises that we've gone through. I'm going to do 4 more here. Exhale, press 2, 1, and lower back down. So we're going to go into the 5 side bends now. I'm just going to do a couple side to side with the head. I'll do a good stretch for the neck at the end, because these sometimes can get in to the neck a little bit here. I don't know if you can see, I have a toddler poking her head in. She's been doing such a good job of letting mommy do her video. 1 more, and lower back down. Almost done. So the last 2 exercises, we're going to go into backhand, lead with the elbow press, and bring it back in. And again, sometimes you start, you can just tell right away the tension is too light, just keep going. Grip upon the band if needed. And 3 more here. 3, 2, 1, and bring it back in. And we're going to go into our lateral raise. And lift and lower back down. Sometimes she'll do the exercises with me. So if I give her this band after, she'll probably have some to do. So let's go 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So this is real life, you know, if your moms are working at home with little kids, sometimes they just, you know, feels like they always want to be right next to you. Okay, so we're gonna put the band down. Go ahead and do it with the band. We'll do some exercises with it. And I'm just gonna finish, we're just gonna finish here with a stretch for the neck. So I'll let you can play with that, okay? So you're gonna take your right hand to the left side of the head, pull the head towards the right shoulder. Should feel a nice stretch to the neck, maybe into the traps if you're tight there. And then slowly release. We're gonna switch sides, opposite side. Left hand gently pulls. Feel the length through the right side of the neck. And then we'll come back to center. 5 shoulder rolls like we did. Inhaling up, exhaling back. And rest. And that is your upper body resistance band workout designed to mimic some exercise on the former. Let me know how it goes. And I hope